Be careful what you wish for in life. You might actually have it happen. This is not the soft on crime, politicized, weaponized Biden DOJ anymore. Your actions will have consequences, and William Kelly, he's been arrested. And remember, the FACE Act, in case those of you on the left, oh, this shouldn't happen. You should be able to protest anywhere. It's in where the Constitution? No, it's called the law. And once championed, interestingly, by the radical left, it states that anyone who obstructs, intimidates, interferes with any person lawfully exercising their First Amendment religious rights at a place of worship is subject to penalties, including up to a year in jail for a first offense. And that's not the only law that is relevant here, because U.S. Code Section 18, Provision 247 also states whoever intentionally obstructs by force or threat anyone exercising their rights to religious freedom or attempts to do so will also face punishment. Unsurprisingly, though, the mainstream media mob, predictably doing their best not to cover the story during a segment about ICE, ABC's World News Tonight, failed to mention all the arrests above at all. Now, meanwhile, one of the husbands of those arrested dismissed the arrest as, quote, Beavis and Butthead prosecutions. I guess he could say that to his friends in jail. But the most prominent member of the agitators, disgraced former fake news CNN host Don Lemon, is daring the DOJ to arrest him. Again, Don, humble, suggestion, former colleague in a weird way, don't really know you, but be careful what you wish for. Anyway, here's what he said.
This is not a victory lap for me because it's not over. They're going to try again, and they're going to try again. And guess what? Here I am. Keep trying. That's not going to stop me from being a journalist. You're not going to diminish my voice. Go ahead, make me into the new Jimmy Kimmel if you want. Just do it.
Oh, he wants free publicity, wants to be the next Jimmy Kimmel. Really want Trump to make you into the next angry, unfunny, failed late-night host with terrible ratings? Well, actually, that already happened once to you. And by the way, it would kind of be a step up from being fired from CNN. And breaking news tonight, in a massive win for law enforcement, ex-Olympian and another top 10 wanted fugitive, Ryan Wedding, is now in custody, marking the 6th member of the 10 most wanted fugitives captured by the FBI. 5 had already beaten the record of the 4 years of Biden. Here with more, the Attorney General, Pam Bondi. Pam, thanks for being with us. All right, well, let's talk about the arrest. Let's talk about the FACE Act. The left, interestingly, they're the ones that like to cite that law, but they forget the very important religious freedom provision specifically mentioned in that very law.
That's right, Sean. Christians, all people of religion have a right to worship in a safe environment, to practice their religion. A house of worship is a sacred place, and we are going to protect it. Donald Trump is the first president in our nation's history to have his office of faith housed in the West Wing. And so we are going to protect all religions. We are going to protect houses of worship. You cannot do what they did. It is a crime. And if you commit a crime, we're coming after you. 3 have been arrested, more to come. If you commit a crime, if you go after a house of worship, we're going to prosecute you, Sean.
Okay. Don Lemon was an opinion host at CNN, but he, even as an opinion host, is a member of the press. Fair enough. You could see he's kind of celebrating. He's obviously in agreement with the protests. There was video evidence of him giving out coffee and donuts and celebrating with them and so on and so forth. His commentary, obviously in support of them. Does the fact that he claims to be an independent journalist, does that factor into the law at all?
Well, he's an online agitator. That's what he is now. And sure, if you're a journalist and you're covering a story, that's not what he was doing. We all know that. We have the video. It speaks for itself. He was in there with all these other people. If you were in there, if you protested and went into that church on the Sunday and you terrorized the parishioners. We are coming after you. That pastor is a wonderful man. I met with that pastor. Sean, these people were staged sitting in the church as well. Then they burst in through all doors, including Don Lemon.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.